Okay, so I'm going to get ready for tomorrow's meal prep. Not Publix, Winn-Dixie had a great deal on pork shoulders. I got this one for $10, originally 39 bucks. Pork shoulder butt. I'm going to start by unwrapping this, and then I'm going to make a brine in this pot, and we're going to leave it in the refrigerator overnight, soaking in a saltwater brine. And then I'm going to do this as my meal prep for tomorrow. I've got family coming over to visit, and this is going to feed everybody up. So for $10, we're going to feed 10 people. So let's go ahead and get it unwrapped. I'm going to make the solution, and then I'll give you the ingredients, and we'll go over everything in the next video. So it is 5 o'clock in the morning. The pork soaked overnight in salt water in the refrigerator. I used half a cup of water for this entire pot of salt water. Okay, so that's a sizable pot, held the entire shoulder. I don't know how many gallons it is, but I'm going to assume that's a 2.5 gallon pot. And so half a cup of salt. First thing this morning, I rinsed this thoroughly, several changes of water, and just got all the salt rinsed off of it, patted it completely dry. And now it's going to go into the oven, completely unseasoned. I'm not putting anything on this pork. I just rinsed it thoroughly, got all the salt off of it, dried it, and it's going to go in a 275 degree oven until it reaches an internal temperature of 195 degrees. And then I'm going to do it in Italian style. We're going to pull it, shred it, and season it after it's cooked, which is very Italian to do, and that will make the seasonings that much fresher and that much more flavorful in the pork. So we'll show you how that's done. I'll see you back here in about 12 hours time, and we'll see how this pulled pork comes together. Still hard to believe that this thing was $9 on sale at Winn-Dixie. So we'll get it in the oven, and I'll see you back in 12 hours. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to get these kids up and get them off to school. So you can see we have reached our final temperature, exceeded our final temperature. We've been cooking this thing at 275 all day. I'm now going to shut everything down and let this cool for at least an hour. And then I'm going to shred it up, and then I'll show you how we season it and finish it. So exciting things ahead. It took 10 hours. So 10 hours, 275. And that was not convection bake. So there you have it. That should shred nicely. I'm going to turn everything off, let it cool for at least an hour or two, and then I'll show you how we finish it up. Super excited. Pulled pork. Okay, one of the things I like to do while the pork is cooling is I'm going to go ahead and saute some onions real lightly. And when I say onions, I really mean just half a yellow onion. So we're going to saute this. It's very thinly sliced. We're going to cook that till it's just translucent. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt. I'm going to cook this for a few minutes till it's just softened, not really browned at all. Real light temperature. And then I'll show you how we finish up the pork here in just a few minutes. Okay, as you can see, I just literally took a fork, shredded out all the bone, and then I'm going to go back and just chop up the big chunks of the pulled pork so that it's not long, stringy pieces. I did not remove any of the fat because you know my motto. Fat is fuel for the body, keeps you full, so there is no way I'm going to cut any fat out of this. So I'm going to chop this up, and then we're going to mix up the seasonings, and I'll show you what those are in just a second. But I'm going to go through here, continue to just break about any of the big chunks. You see it shredded perfectly, so if you get past 185 degrees, your meat should just shred beautifully. And there is tons of juice in there. I'm going to leave all of that fat, and I'm going to serve this right out of this tray. So I'm going to chop this up, and then I'll be back in a minute and show you how we season it. Okay, as I told you before, the pork is completely unseasoned other than I brined it this morning. I brined it overnight in salt and then rinsed it. There is no other seasoning in this meat. That is just straight pork. So now we're going to add the elements that make pulled pork really enjoyable. So we have our onion. You can see I cooked it down, no color on it whatsoever. Just translucent onion. I've got oregano. Oregano is super important. That's about a tablespoon. tablespoon and a half maybe. I've got 2 teaspoons roasted garlic. Pork is not pork without adobo as far as I'm concerned. So this is 2 teaspoons of adobo. We're going to do the juice of 1 lemon, and we are going to do a 1/4 cup of white wine vinegar. So I'll show you how I mix all those in there. I'm going to get a pair of gloves on, and we are going to toss these seasonings in, and we're going to give this pork a massage basically. That's how you do it. So I'll show you that here in just a second. Let me get this set up. Okay, so I'm going to start by squeezing my lemon through a strainer. Now, because I brine this, I am not adding salt. If you taste it and you find that it isn't salty enough, then I would go ahead and add extra salt. But typically when I brine a meat, it's salty enough and there's no need to add more. So I like to just squeeze my lemon juice through a metal strainer so I don't get seeds in there. It's a lot easier to prevent them getting in there than it is to go back and pick them out. So lemon juice in, 1/4 cup of vinegar. I'm not adding any oil to this because there's a ton of fat in there. But you remember the magic ratio on any of your vinaigrettes is going to be 1 part acid, 2 parts oil. So adding, basically 1/2 cup of acid is going to give that a lot of flavor. And there we go. So that's your oregano, your garlic, and adobo. And then we're going to take the onions, and now we are going to give this a massage, and we are going to basically just work all of that seasoning in. And this is where you really give your food the love. This is what makes food stand out. You could add some pepper to it. If you like it spicy, add some chili powder. Some people would add cumin. But we're just going to keep this light, flavorful. And I'm still feeling any big pieces and breaking them up. And we're just going to massage our meat for a second. And then I got one more secret here we're going to do that's going to make this pork really something special. Restaurant quality stuff here. Alright, that's all done. I'm going to get set up for one more trick, and we'll see how you like it. Oh, don't lose your wedding ring in the pork. Let me get you set up. Because my wife is truly amazing, and I've been blessed, I have a smoking gun. And we've got some wood chips, which are apple, which I'm going to put right here in this little chamber. And that's going to blow smoke all over this plastic wrapped pork pan. And I'm doing it over my vent hood. Sometimes I do this outside because it can be it's smoke. So it'll smoke up your whole house. But I'm going to go ahead and get this set up here, and we are going to smoke this right on the stovetop. And it's not going to have that overpowering smoke flavor, but it is going to have a nice gentle smoke flavor. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Okay, so I have the gun loaded, the little chamber with the apple wood, which is my favorite. We're going to go ahead and turn on the fan. And then we're going to go ahead and light it up. And it should start blowing smoke directly into our pulled pork. Give it a little bit more of a light here. And there it goes. And we're just going to seal that off, let that smoke sit, and there you have it. Stovetop smoked pork. How cool is that? And that is the pulled pork recipe. Now, if you're looking for barbecue sauce, G. Hughes does have a sugar-free barbecue sauce that comes in several flavors. A lot of times I just skip the barbecue sauce altogether. I just basically eat it just like it is. And how cool is that? So I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay blessed, stay safe. God bless each and every one of you. And I will see you back for another video soon.